Hey, Berclair, welcome back. I'm so glad you all are here. I miss you all. Let's go ahead and dive right in, shall we? All right. So, here in this week, what we have is our skill is main idea and key details. So, on last week, we were focusing on analyzing the similarities and differences between point of views. But in this week, we're going to be looking at main idea and key details. So I know some of you all are probably running, well, Miss Alling, we've already learned that before. Well, great. This should be a super simple lesson, but I have made it challenging. So you want to make sure you're paying close attention. Now, on this page, this is where we have our newsletter. Let's make sure that we are always subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you ever need the link, we have it provided for you all. Also, make sure that you are completing all of the 8 videos. For some of you all, it might be 9 if you need more instruction with your English language. But if you do not, there's 8. So every day you should be checking up on the YouTube videos and completing them. Monday, you should be checking the YouTube videos and completing them. Tuesday, checking the YouTube videos and completing them. Wednesday, checking the YouTube videos and completing them. And by Thursday, you should be submitting your videos via the comment section and or the Google Voice, depending on the teacher. It is not just enough for you to watch the video. You have to then submit your work so that way we know if you all understand the material or if there's some extra help that you need. Please make sure you're watching the videos. We have some great stuff cooked up for you all. We have some prizes, some cool things that we would love to do as a fifth grade team. But in order for us to give it, you have to be committed to the videos. And lastly, make sure you are constantly sharing with all of your friends that, hey, the fifth grade YouTube channel is where it's at. So here are all the different names and the topics of the videos for the subjects. Make sure you take a close look at that as well. And at any point, if you ever need to pause the video or rewind, please do so. All right, so main idea. It's in here somewhere. That's what some of us may be thinking. Or some of us already know how to find the main idea. What I wanted to do is I want to leave us with clarity in knowing exactly how to find the main idea of a given text with the help of our key details. So let's go ahead and look at the standard we're focusing on. Our standard says determine the central idea of a text and explain how it is supported by key details. Summarize the text. Okay. Now, here we have our learning target. And remember, in order for us to accomplish our standard, first we need to know where we headed. What goals do we need to set in order to accomplish the standard that we just read? And remember, at the end, we're going to make sure we shoot and release. So the first target is I can differentiate the meanings of main idea and key details. And remember, we learned about that term differentiate. What does that mean? I'm going to let you tell me what that is by the end of our target. Second, I can explain how the main idea and key details support each other. And third, I can identify the main idea and key detail of a given text using annotation, strategies, and a diagram. All right, let's go ahead and release. Awesome sauce. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So I want to activate some prior knowledge. So step one, you are going to choose an image. You're either going to choose a chair or a tree. Step two, based on the image you selected, either it being a chair or a tree, which part of the image represents the main idea and the key details and why? Next, you're going to post your answer in the comment section. All right, now here is an example. It says, let me see if I can move myself. Okay, don't mind me. All right, we're just going to leave that kid right there. So it says, in the tree, blank represents blank, and blank represents blank because. All right, so in the tree, the main idea represents what part of the tree? And the key details represents what part of the tree because. And you can either pick the tree or the chair. So here are our following. We have our tree and then we have our chair. So I'll go ahead and give you a few minutes and please make sure you comment on the comment section. So go ahead and take a few seconds and then we're going to keep moving on. So make sure you use this sentence starter. Now remember, I don't want you to select tree. You choose between tree or chair. And there's a reason why I'm having you to do this activity. So I'll give you a few seconds. And if you ever need to pause this video, make sure you go ahead and do so. All right, let's go ahead and keep on moving. So you did that awesome assignment. Perfect, okay? Move me. Okay, great. So now that you chose between the chair or the tree, now we're going to bring it all together. Now, in order for us to be able to explain the main idea of a text using key details, or in order for us to differentiate the difference between, first we need to understand the terms. So this should be a review for us, but if not, make sure we are paying close attention. So what is a main idea? Well, I'm glad you asked. A main idea is the most important points that the author is making about the text that us as the reader should take away. It's the most important points that the author is making about a text that we should take away. Because there's so many different sentences and ideas and details that are explained. But what is the most important that the author wants us to take away from the text? That is your main idea. And what is the purpose of it? Well, the purpose is to help us as the reader understand what's the main focus. So after we're done reading the text, what should be our main focus that we are looking at of the text? So when we think about the main idea, I want you to think about a cake, just a plain basic cake, as you see in the corner, just a plain basic cake, okay? Now I want us to look at key details. So what key details are is details that are sentences that tell more about, describe, or explain the main idea. So when you think of key details, these are details that are sentences that do three of the following things. It either tells you more about the main idea, it describes the main idea, or it explains the main idea. So then what then, Ms. Starling, is the purpose of key details? Well, the purpose of the key detail is that it's going to support the main idea. Main idea, what is the story really talking about the most? Key detail, what is the sentence that talks about that main point? Or what is the sentence that talks about that main focus? So when we think about key details, we're thinking about toppings on a cake. So if we have our cake is just the foundation that our dessert is on. But when we add toppings, toppings is what gives our cake flavor. That is what makes it taste very unique. That's what makes our experience in eating lovely. So when we look at this cake is our end product of when we have read the text, because now we have our main key details. But when we look at it separately, main idea is just a plain cake as foundation, bread, baked, that's it. Now your key details is what can I add that will give it flavor to the cake? Can I put icing? Can I put fruit? Can I put sprinkles? What can I add to give the cake flavor? That is our topping, which is our key detail. So when you walk away from this, make sure you have this visual. Okay, here I have a cake. When I think about a main idea, my main idea is my cake because this is what this is the foundation of the text. What is the story mostly focusing on? While the key details is what I put on the top, and that supports the cake because that's what gives it flavor. And our key details gives our main idea flavor. All right. Now let's go ahead and keep on going. So now what are strategies that we need to take in order to find the main idea? Well, I am glad you asked. Number one, first you need to identify what is the main subject. Who or what is mostly being talked about? Now notice how I said who or what. In your story, sometimes it might be a person. Other times it could be a thing, such as a company. It can talk about a particular land. It can talk about a particular object or a specific thing. So don't get stuck on a lot of your text being about people. It's about who or what. Think about your noun, person, place, or thing. Second, after we identify the main subject, then we're going to identify one or two repeated details about the main subject. So that means what details are repeated that focus on who or what of my main subject. Now, notice how I put the word paraphrase. Sometimes the details may actually be repeated, like literally written more than once. Other times you might have to paraphrase. So they might say the word enjoy, and then another word could say they were excited. Or maybe they might say happy and they might say joyful. Those are synonym of each other. They're still repeating the same word, it's just in a different way. So make sure you are paying attention to that as well. Sometimes the details are repeated, but in a different way, using a different word with a similar meaning. In our third step, identify 1 to 2 repeated thoughts or feelings related to the main subject. Is there a thought or is there a feeling that has been repeated about that who or what? Now, notice if I put in parentheses if present. Sometimes the thoughts or feelings are not always present. Sometimes the thoughts or feelings are not always present. So definitely make sure, excuse me, sorry, I got a little excited. So definitely make sure that you look and notice it. Sometimes there might be thoughts or feelings about the main subject, but not always. Okay. And lastly, our fourth step. Make sure you have done steps 1, 2, and 3 because that is our fourth step. Now we're going to put it all together and we're going to write a main idea statement. And so this is where you take what's in step 1 and in step 2 and in step 3, and you're going to put it all together in a sentence. So we're going to go ahead and do an example, and then we're going to go overhead and go over some questions. All right. And remember, if you ever need to rewind, make sure you go ahead and do so. So as always, we always have what direction. So here it says, read the text. Underline repeated subject and details in the text. Complete steps 1 through 4 to find main idea. All right, so let's go ahead. So now we're going to read the text. We're going to underline repeated subject and details in the text and complete steps 1 through 4 to find the main idea. Okay, so here is our text. Now, I've already highlighted prior just to guide us. Summer is a wonderful time to spend at West Beach. It is a beach with light colored soft sand. The coastline goes on for a long way, and many people enjoy walking along it. Children like to play in the surf and walk along the rocks that are visible at low tide. This is a fun beach for people of all ages. So now what our goal is that we need to find the main idea. But before we do that, second step, underline repeated subject and details in the text. So here, what is our main subject? Who or what is constantly being talked about? Well, as we see, our subject is West Beach. West Beach, all right? Now, also, you can also add people as well because they are talking about people. Notice how you see beach repeated more than once. Notice how you see people repeated more than once. Now, here we have our detail. What is our detail that is being talked about? Well, there's talking about how the people enjoy walking along the beach. In our sentence here, it says, coastline goes on for a long way. People enjoy walking it. Then they tell you what else people like to do, play and surf. But then they say again, walk along the rocks. So that's letting us know that this is something that is important because it's repeated more than once. Yes, did they talk about that children like to play in the surf? Yes, but is that repeated though? Is that the main focus that the author wants us to know about what people do at the beach? No, the main thing that is repeated is walking along it. Now, are there any thoughts or feelings that the author mentions about people, what they feel? Well, he does mention that they enjoy themselves. Here it says the word enjoy. Now, notice it says this is a fun beach. Well, if something is fun, what does that mean? You enjoy it. So that's an example of paraphrasing. No, it doesn't repeat joy more than once, but it is using another word like fun that is similar. So now we're going to put steps 1, 2, and 3 together. So main subject, West Beach, or you could say people. Detail, people walk along the beach. Thoughts or feelings, people enjoy themselves. So now let's go ahead and see what is our now main idea statement. So our main idea statement is West Beach, sorry, let me go ahead and minimize this. Sorry, okay, so it says West Beach is a beach that people of all ages enjoy walking along. The next one says West Beach is a fun beach for people of all ages to spend time at during the summer. Now notice though, there's two main idea statements. You don't have to write two main idea statements. There are different ways that you can formulate your main idea. Now I didn't just say West Beach, comma, people walk along the beach, comma, people enjoy themselves. Yes, you combine steps one through you have to do steps 1 to 3, but you got to put it in a sentence. So feel free to add more verbs. So I said West Beach, main subject, is a beach that people of all ages enjoy walking along. Boom, here I go. I added the word along. I mean, I didn't add the word along, I added the words of all ages. So definitely be creative, okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go and ask some questions. Let's go ahead and go to the question booth. All right. So what questions do we have that fifth grade may have? All right, so here we have. So number one, is main idea and theme the same thing? No, they are not. Main idea is what the author wants readers to know the most about the text. What is it that the author wants readers to know mostly about the text? That's your main idea. Theme, however, it's the life lesson that the author wants readers to take away. Main idea, what is the story mostly about? Theme, life lesson. Life lesson means what is something that we can learn that we can apply to our lives. Second question, can a text have a main idea without key details? No, you have to have both of them because the main idea and key details support each other. So if you don't have one of them, then you don't have the other. You can't have a main idea if you don't have key details, and you can't have key details if you what? Don't have the main idea. All right. And third, how will knowing how to find the main idea and key details help me in middle school? Awesome question. If you know how to find the main idea and key details in middle school, number one, you're going to be able to read much more challenging text. And when you're able to read challenging text, let me give you a secret. The stories are way better. They're more interesting. They have more drama. They are more dramatic and adventurous. And then also, you're able to engage in classroom discussions. Imagine those times where you didn't understand the text so you really couldn't engage with your teacher and your classmates. When you understand the main idea and the key detail how to find it, it really helps your comprehension and you're able to really participate. So here, drum roll please. Now you're probably laughing at me, but it's okay. Here you are. You have found the central idea. It's what it's mostly about. So I want you all to get ready because you are about to have an Oprah moment. That's right. Get ready. All right, here we go. Now, here you are going to do your independent work. So make sure that you stop this video, okay? Number one, you're going to read the text. Number two, you're going to underline the repeated subject and the details in the text. Number three, you're going to complete steps 1 through 4 to find the main idea. Now, if you're wondering where am I finding this, right here in the corner, make sure you read your directions, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and post everything, and here you have it, folks. This is everything you need for your assignment. I'm going to go ahead and put myself in a corner. This is your independent activity. I wish you well. Make sure that once you have completed your annotations and your diagram, take a picture of your work and send it to my Google Voice number, 901-295-9316, okay? So I hope you all have an amazing time enjoying your independent activity. I can't wait for those messages, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.